everybody, this is Krista and welcome back to Crochet Witch Tarot and another week of decks. I've missed you all. I have not made, well, I guess recorded a video since Monday. I posted on Tuesday maybe. But it's been a few days, which is not typical for me, but it has been a crazy week. We are getting ready to start construction at the library. And that involves the entire children's room moving to a different level. So that's been a thing. It's been some work, but it'll be exciting. It'll be a good change. So all good things, but just time consuming for the meantime. Gosh, I feel like I have so much to talk about. I got in a few deck six this week. It was just one of those weeks where some orders came in, or I traded for some really cool new things that I'm excited about. I think we're going to end with those because some of the new decks are in my selections for this week. So I think we're going to start in our usual order where I talk about the decks I used last week, and then we will go from there. So the oracles I used last week were the Mini Divi by Holly Audley, and this one was a lot of fun as usual. Again, like I said last week, I just love that the messages are right on the cards. I love the theme. I love anything kind of spooky and to do with ghosts, especially because this one is so cute. It makes the ghost so cute, which went super well with the Boo Tarot I used this week, which we'll get to. This one just never fails. I'm so excited for the rest of the mini divies to come out so I can combine a few of them. I mean, this is a great oracle just on its own. You get quite a few cards. I think it is... it might be like 36 cards? I'm not positive, but to even just have one, it's a great oracle deck, but knowing that there's more coming, I'm very excited, and I love the topics that Holly chose. The other oracle I used was the one that you all voted on, and it was the Woodland Wardens, which this one I didn't end up using too much this past week. Even though it's a deck I love. Can I get it out of the bag? Yes, okay. I do really love this deck, but I found that I think I just didn't really pick tarots that matched it very well, which I don't usually feel that way. I kind of like going for some wacky pairings or just, you know, ones that I wouldn't initially try out or think would go together. I love doing that. So this might be the first time I really kind of felt that way, where it didn't feel like the right oracle to be using for the tarot decks I had. So this one didn't get too much play this week, so we're gonna have to bring it out again soon. I have to say though, the times I did use this deck really made me consider much more heavily trimming it. I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna bring it right down, take these white borders completely off and go right down to that brown, which will make it a bit more of a mini deck. I think the reason I've been hesitant to do it too is because I already made this bag for it, which I really love, and I'm kind of like, is it gonna fit as nice? I don't know. It's a silly reason, but I do love the bag I made for it, so the jury is still a little bit out on that decision, but don't be surprised if that shows up as a deck mod that happened this month, because I kind of think just visually it would go better with a lot of decks if it didn't have that white border. So I think that's something we're going to consider doing. Okay, the tarots. We'll start with the Boo Tarot since I already kind of brought that up. This went so well with the Mini Divi and actually paired super well with the other tarot, which was exciting. I'm not one for my daily pulls to use more than one tarot deck, but I just really felt pulled to with the ones I chose, and they were so much fun together. This deck is so stinking cute, as you've all seen. It just is bringing me so much joy, but also really has made me think about a few cards in a different way, I have to say. Ooh, this one got a little jagged. Oops. For example, this Wheel of Fortune card. Did I talk about this last time? I don't know, but we're gonna do it again. First of all, the sparkles. Come on. I love this Wheel of Fortune card because you get that idea of transition. So these ghosts clearly have been playing in the mud and are gonna take their turn in the washing machine so they can be all nice and clean and hang to dry. But if you look at their faces, they're all happy. So I think it's interesting in this picture that we don't know whether it is, we don't know what's the top and what's the bottom of the wheel. Is it better to be dirty or clean? We don't really get a sense of what's what here, and I think that is such a cool way to think of the Wheel of Fortune, where the sense I get from it, or what I took away from that, is that sometimes when you're at the top of the wheel, you don't always take time to appreciate that or realize it, or sometimes things on paper seem like they're really good, but maybe it's not actually what you want. Maybe hanging to dry and being all clean and nice isn't what is going to be the best for you in that moment. Maybe you need to get down in the mud and get dirty and roll around a little bit to discover something new about yourself, or to work through something, or just even have some fun. Don't you think? So that's what I mean about this deck. It's, you know, it's cute, but has been so expansive in such a different way. Ooh, I don't even want to put it away this week. Don't be surprised if this one comes out, because I don't think I'm going to put this one away just yet. Oh, it's just so fun. It's so much fun. I've really been loving it. So that is the Boo Tarot. The other deck I use this week is another one that I don't really want to put away either. And it is the Pixies Whisper Tarot. You can find this on Divination Apothecary on Etsy. And this is basically the Smith-Waite reimagined. So the colors are changed, there's added images, the symbols are enlarged or shrunken to emphasize certain things, which I think is so cool. Like if you look at the Magician here, our different suits are made super big and he's sitting in this cup. I don't know, I've never been a Smith-Waite user. I do not use the standard Smith-Waite tarot. I've always had one. I can't think of the version I originally had. It's the one that comes in the pale blue box where all the colors are muted. I can't think of what that version was, but it's a US Games full-size tarot. And I never used it. I would use it in some spell work and things of that sort, but I just never felt pulled to read with it. It just didn't interest me. And so I ended up actually donating that one to the teen section of our library because we've gotten some really cool tarot books for the teens. I thought they would like a deck to see and practice with if they're looking at the books at the library. So that's where that one went. And then I ended up getting the Centennial in a tin for study purposes. But again, I don't do readings with it. It does not interest me. So I was really surprised when I saw this one on Simon's channel, The Hermit's Cave, and it really caught my eye because he's a big Smith-Waite fan, big fan of Pamela Coleman Smith, and so it made sense that he would like this. But I was watching and I was like, wait, that looks like so much fun. I actually am really drawn to that. So I hemmed and hawed over it for quite some time and finally ordered it, and I have just no regrets about it. It was so much fun this week. If I'm looking to use a Smith-Waite deck, this is the one that is going to come out. I really loved it. It's just so much fun, and I love taking notice to what symbols are enlarged and shrunken and what's, you know, the different things added. It almost takes that standard deck and adds like 3 more layers on top of it. Not to mention the randomized different backs. are magical for an ADHD brain because I'm never gonna remember which card is which, and shuffling them is so interesting because you just get to see all the different patterns and colors while you shuffle. Yeah, so I've really been liking this one. It's also, so it seems to me that the creator orders from, you know, like make playing cards maybe, I'm not sure, but this is on that like linen make playing cards cardstock, which I love. It's such good cardstock. So I really enjoyed this one this week, and this might be one that stays out as well, just because it's like an interesting, easy reader for me, because, you know, I'm very familiar with the cards, so I know exactly what it's trying to tell me, but then there's more to look at. I think that's what's interesting. Not to say that the Smith, you know, standard Smith weight, there's not anything to look at, because there's obviously all that really rich symbolism, but it just interests me more in this one, I guess. I really loved using this. So, those are my decks from last week. Actually, did I use anything else? I didn't think to check. So we're gonna do that right now. I use the Boo Tarot quite a lot. I think the only other deck I used was the Song of the Grandmothers, which is on Kickstarter now. So if you enjoyed seeing, or have enjoyed seeing, the prototype deck that I so kindly received from Kara, then definitely check that out on Kickstarter. It seems like the final product is just going to be so beautiful. It's got the full color guidebook like the indie edition of the Prairie Majesty, which is really exciting. It just looks, it looks so beautiful. I'm so excited to, I have the prototype, but I did back on Kickstarter as well to get that really like nice finished product. I'm excited to see it. So let's get into the decks for this week. I'm gonna start with Oracle. So my first Oracle deck that I will be using this week is the Old Ways Magic Oracle, which is one that I really love. I'm excited to have this one out again. The artwork is so beautiful, and it's going to pair really well with the tarot deck actually you all chose this week. But this one is just one that feels timeless. It feels like it's going to be around with me for a really long time. It fits really well into my current practice. And it's just, they're beautiful. It's beautiful quality and beautiful art. I just have no complaints. The guidebook is really awesome as well. So, and I also like the large size of the cards. They're very big, kind of the size of my hand, but I'm really excited to have this one out again this week. So that is the Old Ways Magic Oracle. My second Oracle is a new to me one from this week that I traded for, I don't remember what I traded for it, but I'm really excited about it. So this is the Witches, oh, it says it on the backs, the Witches World Oracle. So I believe you can find this on Etsy. From my own searching, it seems like there's a newer edition that has a lot more cards. This is an older edition, so there's not, this one, I don't have the new cards that it seems like have been added. I don't really know. I'd never seen this Oracle before, and when I'm trading decks, I really enjoy, like if I have something someone wants that I don't really use, I like to, I'm losing my sentence. If I have something that I know someone is looking for, I guess that's what I'm trying to say, and their decks that they're trading are, if there's any that I haven't tried or don't have, I'm always willing to trade because I like feeling like someone is getting a deck that they're looking for, especially if it's one I'm just not really using anymore. I like feeling like it's gonna go somewhere that someone's gonna get a lot of joy out of it. And it just is a nice opportunity to try out something that either was completely off my radar like this one was, or I just never would have thought to try. So that was my theme with the trades I received this week. I did do a bit of deck trading for some reason this week, but anyway, Second oracle, the Witch's World Oracle. I'm really excited about this one. It reminds me of the Practical Magic Inner Witch Oracle. I don't have that one, but just looking at these images, it reminds me of that. So it's very witchy, but I like that we get the symbol and a keyword down here. And I love, again, it's like simplistic, which I do really like in an oracle. I'm just so excited about this one. It feels so witchy and fun. And I think this one is one that's going to pair really well with a lot of my tarot decks and be really versatile for me. So this is one I'm really excited to start using. Isn't this so much fun? Oh my gosh. Look at these! And the artwork is also just so beautiful. I love how it combines so many different things too, like moon phases, animals, crystals, element signs. It's just really fun. It's really fun. That's what I'm excited about with this one. So that is the Witch's World Oracle. Okay, so now we're into tarot decks. So the one that you all voted on for me to use this week is the Gentle Tarot. And I actually have this is the full size from Kickstarter. I backed it on Kickstarter. It was on there like maybe 2 or 3 years ago now. So this is a longtime favorite. I really love this deck. I love Mari's illustration style, and I love how healing this deck feels. It's like healing and confronting all at the same time. It just makes me so happy to use. It's such a favorite of mine. And so I have this version, but I also did maybe a month or 2 or so now get the, oh my gosh, it's mixed all over the place. I must have dropped it. I got the smaller linen edition because I really love the full size, but it is kind of a thick cardstock, as you can see. So the deck is chunky. It's a bit hard to bring around the way I would like to. So I was really excited to get the smaller linen edition because now it's one that I will bring when I'm going on nature walks. I bring that one. If I'm traveling, I bring that one along with me a lot. Or if I just feel like using it at work, you know, it can go right in my bag. I don't have to worry about it. So this is one that kind of stays at home. So I will probably be using this version most of the time this week, but if you see it look a little different, it's probably just that I took out that smaller linen edition as well, which I think that's the only deck I have 2 different versions of. Nope, that's a lie. I have both of the Prairie Majesty Oracle editions. Those might be the only 2 though, which is funny because both of them are like real favorites, like these I'm never getting rid of kind of favorites, you know? Anyway, besides the point, I'm excited to have this one out because I've not brought it out yet this summer, and this really feels like a summery deck to me. So I'm excited for it to get its chance to shine. Now, my last tarot deck will be a good segue into all the other new decks from this week. So my second tarot deck I will be using is the Gilded Tarot Royale by Marquetti, and the guidebook is written by Barbara Moore, which I'm really excited about. This is one of those Llewellyn sets. You can get just the deck in a tuck box, but I do like getting these big guidebooks if they have them. And something I've already noticed that I really enjoy is that Barbara Moore's writing is really rich, I guess you could say, but concise. And so the thing that I like the full Llewellyn guidebooks, but sometimes for those morning polls, reading the full page or sometimes 2 is just too much and it doesn't keep my attention well. But this is just the right amount on each page, but I still feel like I'm getting everything I need from it. And the text is a bit larger. It's just a really good guidebook. I've been enjoying reading through this one so far. So this is a deck I never thought I would end up with. I don't even know what got me thinking about it, but I couldn't even tell you. I don't remember. I've been just looking at the Marquetti decks for a few weeks now and just feeling pulled to get one for some reason. Even though looking at it online, I was like, I don't think I like these illustrations. Like, why am I feeling so drawn to this? And I think it's one of those cases where I needed to see it in person, and I really am liking it so far. It's very new, like I got it in yesterday kind of thing, and didn't even get to look at it much because my parents were visiting this weekend. But just from the initial pulls I've been doing from it, and the kind of flip through for myself, I really like it. I don't know if this is gonna be like a permanent or just passing through kind of deck, I don't know, but for some reason I just had that bug where it was like I need to just try it. I need to try it for myself and see. So I'm really excited to work with this one this week. It's very, very different for me, but I think that's been kind of a theme going on for the decks I've been bringing in recently, is that they're very outside of my comfort zone and different, and I think it's just that I'm looking for, like, I don't know if it's different perspectives, I've got no idea. I don't know why I've got this, like, bug up my butt about it, but that's been the case. So, yeah, it's so different for me. I couldn't even believe it. I was like, why am I feeling so drawn to this deck? What is it about this? Like, I would never in a million years have picked this out for myself, but I'm excited to try that out. So that is the second tarot we will be using this week. Now, I just want to show the other decks I got in this week because I'm really excited about them. So the first one was definitely a splurge for myself. It's one I've been kind of looking at for a while, but just waiting for either more copies to go up on the shop or a reasonable used one to show up. And it did. Very excited about it. It is the Madame Lydia Wilhelmina's Tarot of Monsters and the Macabre. I think that's the full name. I made this really fun shiny bag for it with these little bat charms. I think I might change out the tie. I don't think I like the tie being the same color, but regardless. Fun. I've been loving this deck. This is one of those where I was like, why? Another one. Why am I drawn to this? Like, this is not typical for me. It's creepy and kind of dark. But as soon as I got it in, it's like I can't put this one down. I feel so connected to it instantly. The images are super interesting. Like, a lot of the cards, the characters have these masks. It just really leaves you with something to think about. Oh gosh, I'm so excited about this one. This one is, you'll probably be seeing a lot of this one. Like, look at the masks. Doesn't it just make you think? I don't know. There's a lot to think about with this deck. I think that's why I love it so much. And I've just been really into the more kind of dark and creepy. I don't know. But this one is kind of in like a playful, fun way. I think that's what I really like about it. So, very excited to use this one. This is one of my favorite Eight of Cups I've seen. How neat is that? It's a really nice deck. I'm very excited to finally have a copy of my own and get to try it out. This one feels like, as you know when you get that feeling when you get a deck in where it's like, this is gonna stick around. Like, I don't know why, but I just feel like I'm gonna really connect to this one. So, let's stay on the theme of creepy. The other tarot I got in this week is, surprise, surprise. Well, actually, maybe it is a surprise, because I never would have thought I'd get this one either. The Tarot of Vampires, that many have been speaking on and trying out. When I saw this the first time, my instant reaction was, nope, nope. Never in a million years. Not my thing, don't want it, never, no, 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 no. But then we got another bug up our butt. So many bugs. And I couldn't stop thinking about this one. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna download the app. There is an app for like $3 or $4. You can get where you can see the cards and like pull a card every day, and it's got the guidebook on there. Because I think a big reason I wanted to try it out was because of how good I've heard the guidebook is. So I was like, if it's just about that, I can use the app, you know, and just pull other cards and read from the guidebook through the app. And that'll be fine. But using the app and pulling cards on there, I noticed the thing about the reaction I was having to the cards, it seemed less of a I just don't like the art style and more of a visceral reaction that I feel like I need to explore. You know what I mean? Like, I'm having a reaction to this deck because of something that maybe I need to work through or work on. So I decided to, I got a used, no. I think it was a used copy, now I can't remember. Anyways. And it was really funny because I flipped through this deck, same visceral reaction. I was like, I don't think this one's gonna stick around very long. Don't like the pictures. Not me. I mean, this is not me. I don't like these pictures. They creep me out. They cause this visceral reaction in me. But I did a reading, and it was really good. And some reason, when you pull multiple of the cards together, it's not so bad. So I don't know, the jury is still out on this one. I'm really excited to give it a chance. You know, I've brought it in, I need to give it the chance, and I just know in the bottom of my heart that there's a reason I'm reacting so strongly to these cards, and I think it's really something I need to explore. So I'm excited to keep testing this one out. Oh my gosh. Ooh, some of these images though. So much blood. Anyways, so that is the Tarot of Vampires. And you know what? My thing always with decks, I like to really consider them before I bring something in, for the most part. But sometimes you just get that feeling. What did I do to this already? Maybe that wasn't me. Whatever. Sometimes you just get that feeling where you're like, I am so drawn to this. I don't know why. I just need to have it in my hands to try it out. And to me, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That's okay. I can pass it along to someone who is really interested in it or also just wants to try it out. I tend to like having a rotating collection in that way because I found a lot of really good decks for myself through doing that I never would have tried otherwise. So, anyway, we've got some oracles as well. So I traded with the loveliest woman, Chanel. Chanel? Oh my goodness, I really don't want to get... Yeah, Chanel, okay. I remembered it as an SH. Chanel. And if you're watching, hello. And again, I traded for 2 decks that I never would have bought for myself, but as soon as I saw them on her list, I was kind of like, I want to try those. And the first is the Fairy Tale Oracle by Lucy Cavendish with the art by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. I love this artwork, I really do. But I've never tried one of these oracles from Blue Angel, so I'm excited to have this one to try out. It seems really interesting so far. And I kind of have this feeling of if this one doesn't work out for me, I have a feeling I'm really gonna like the combination of Lucy Cavendish and Jasmine Beckett Griffith art, so it might prompt me to just look into the other themes and see if maybe one of those work better, but I don't know. I really do like, I mean, I like fairy tales. I've got a lot of decks I think that would lend well to working with this one, tarot decks. So I'm excited to try this one out. I have the Notorious JBG Tarot, that I really like, made by Peekaboo Rose. I do like that one, but it is kind of cool to see the artwork in this big oracle card size, because that one is more of like a pocket deck or poker size, so I'm excited about that. The other is the Sacred Rebels Oracle, which I already love this one. It's so good. This one's by Alana Fairchild, and I love the artwork. And it just seems like one that's going to be really profound. And again, I like that there's kind of a mix of people and animals. I don't know. I'm really excited about this one. I've not gotten to really look much at it yet, but I'm very excited about it. I'm moving fast because my camera is about to overheat. I don't want to pause. Okay. Last deck is also, actually, I should have included this. This one I will be using this week as well, as like a secondary oracle. This is the new, oh my gosh, Andy, I'm forgetting the name. This is made by Andy. Oh no! Where's the title card? Feel Your Chakras. It's the Feel Your Chakras deck. If I got that wrong, Andy. I'm so sorry. Feel Your Chakras. I'm pretty sure that's the name of the deck. But this is a new deck put out by my friend Andy. You can find it through her Instagram, Metaphysics Made Easy. I will put a link down below. It's on her Etsy shop. That's where she's selling it through. But she made a chakra deck that is just so unique and really exciting. So this deck goes through each of the chakras and gives you like a key phrase for underactive, overactive, and balanced. And it's just so different from anything else I've seen. So, for example, this is the root chakra. If your root chakra is overactive, the key phrase is, I am being impulsive. Third eye, underactive. I see, but I am disconnected from the universe. This deck has just been so spot on. I'm so excited that I have this to try out. Andy makes really, really cool decks. I also have her Tarot of Feeling that is really awesome. But this deck, look how many cards. It's so many cards. It just is spot on every single time. Root chakra overactive. I am getting easily annoyed. I mean, this deck has called me out in every direction since I started to use it. And the way I really like to use this one is almost alongside another oracle deck and then also with tarot. So I have used this as like a solitary oracle and it works great that way. But I kind of like it as a second layer. I think because I'm not super familiar with working with chakras, that's not a typical practice of mine, but using it in this way with the key phrases really makes sense and works so well. I've had such good readings with this so far, and it's another one with all these different backs, so shuffling it is so much fun. The cardstock is also really, really cool. And so this is just a really cool thing that Andy has created. I will put links down below if you want to check this out, but I'm super excited to keep trying this out this week. I mean, look at how many cards! There's so many cards. It's so cool. I think I've seen other chakra decks, but this is just so different than any of the other ones I've seen, and just there's so many cards. I think that's what I really love about it. So I'm excited for this one to make its appearance. But, as I said, we're about to overheat this camera. So I think I've talked enough. So, anyhow, all of that being said and shared, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you all have a wonderful beginning to